So now that we've done with the best of the week and the controversies, let's go to the worst of the week. So according to you guys, which was the worst team we saw from the past 5 days of action?
I mean, it's easy to say Chennai because they capitulated that way, but I think the worst was undoubtedly Pune.
Okay.
Because they offered absolutely nothing. They played 2 games, lost 1 2-0, lost the other 3-0. And they were big games. I mean, for Pune, their game against Mumbai every year is something that their fans look forward to. They went to Mumbai, got beaten 2-0, didn't play very well at all. And then their first home game of the season against Bengaluru, which again, it was a very, very timid performance, and they allowed Bengaluru to beat them up. Dimas was able to pull the strings from midfield. Miku was doing his thing up front. Vedanta was running rings around them. So you know that these players are the big players of the opposition, the likes of Vedanta, Miku, Dimas, Sunil Chhetri, and yet they had the space to do what they had to. And it's the same thing against Mumbai. Arnold Isoko was really good in that game. Modu Sugu was bullying the Pune defenders. And I think it's a pattern with Miguel Portugal. Even last season when he was managing the Delhi Dynamos, they weren't a very good side at all defensively. And I think a pattern's developing with Pune. Pune obviously have very good attacking players in Marcelinho and Alfaro. But Marcelinho not starting against Mumbai was also weird. And then he started yesterday against Bengaluru, and I don't think he started in the right position. I think Marcelinho should have played on the wings and not central. So Pune have a lot of work to do, and obviously Chennai, we've spoken about Chennai having work to do defensively. So I'd say the worst team of the week was Pune.
So if you say, like you said, Marcelinho didn't start the Maharashtra derby, and then when he played against Bengaluru, he played in the centre. Who do you think should play in the centre then, behind Alfaro in Pune City's team?
I think they really miss Marko Stankovic. He was injured, so they had to drop him. But I think they really miss Marko Stankovic, and once he comes back, it'll be interesting because they've got 2 really good wingers as well. I'm not taking nothing away from Ashik Kurunina or Nikhil Pujari, but Marcelinho I think will definitely be a lot more suited to playing out wide, where he can isolate defenders and then beat them using his skill.
Yeah. So Pune City's biggest problem against Bengaluru were Bengaluru played such a high line that Pune were caught offside, I don't know, countless times. We lost count of the number of offsides they had, and Alfaro just had no way of getting through that defense, and even when he did, there was no service. Marcelinho had to pull strings by himself, and Ashik Kurnia and who was on the left? Nikhil Pujari, sorry. Neither of them were able to actually get forward much with the ball, and Bengaluru played really well to contain them and keep a clean sheet as well in the process. I mean, Pune's best chance was actually Marcelinho's free kick, which was thwarted by Gurpreet Singh's diving save. So apart from that, they really had no chance, no shots on goal as such. And even after Diego Carlos came in, all their crosses were pretty much wasteful, and you didn't see any game plan from Pune as to how to come back after that quick fire 2-goal lead which Bengaluru took. In our next segment, we talk about the worst miss of the week. So, Aravind, I'll come to you for this. Who according to you had the worst miss of the week? So,
okay, so there are 2 things that come to mind. One is Tim Cahill's miss against ATK. So Tim Cahill, he played for Everton before, and he's an Australian World Cup representative. And he's a good aerial threat for any defense. And out of the 56 goals that he scored in the Premier League, 31 have come from headers. And he missed a header against ATK, and the ball was right here, he was right in front of the goal, and he hit it straight at Subhashish Roy Chaudhary, who made a mistake earlier.
Arindam, not Subhashish.
Arindam, sorry. Arindam, who made a mistake earlier, and then Tim Cahill was taken off. That was probably the only decent cross that Jamshedpur FC managed to provide for Tim Cahill, and he disappointed.
Just to talk about Tim Cahill a bit, do you think, are they playing better with him or without him on the pitch? Because there have been cases where games where they played a little better as a team without him on the pitch.
So definitely against Bengaluru FC, they played well without him. After he was taken off, that's when they got 2 goals. One was scored by Gaurav Mukhi, and the other one was by Sidoncha, who provided the opening goal for Jamshedpur against ATK. So apart from that, Gianni Zuiverloon of Delhi Dynamos also had a miss. It was a really bad one. It was at the penalty spot, and from there he couldn't direct it towards goal. He shot it wide.
Okay. Moving on. Let's talk about the referees. Now, referees in the ISL have come in for a lot of stick over the last few seasons, and it's a trend that's not going to stop. We're going to see a lot of mistakes every year. But this week, there was one particular error which stood out. So, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, Kerala should have had a penalty in the 3rd minute of injury time. I have no idea how the referee didn't see that. It was a blatant penalty for the foul by Preetham Kotal on Vineet. Vineet had beaten him, and Kotal lunged in, didn't win the ball, got the man. Should have been a penalty. And given that it was that late in the game, if Kerala had scored the penalty, they'd have won the game, because I don't think Delhi would have had enough time to come back. So I think it was a terrible decision, and one that potentially cost Kerala 2 points as well. And it's important in the context that Kerala aren't a team that has gotten too many points at home. So for them to get that win at home would have been really, really big. And being denied by the referee must have been pretty deflating for the entire unit as a whole. And for Vineet in particular, because this was the first start, he'd already gotten himself a goal, he was playing really well. And if he'd won the penalty, it does his confidence that much more good. So, but again, they're just not doing. This is not his first error, as you said. It won't be his last. So you just hope that as a fan, whichever club you support, you just pray that the referees don't sabotage your team's chances on the day.
So, like you said, Kerala Blasters have been kind of the surprise package this season. I mean, you see a lot of managers going for all 5 foreigners no matter what, but David James has done something different. He doesn't pick 5 foreigners in every game. The previous game he picked 4, and in the last game he picked only 3 foreign players in the starting line. And he's giving youngsters a chance. That's what he said before the season started, and he's lived up to that word. And Kerala actually performing well. I mean, they've had a couple of disappointing draws, but you can see them coming together as a unit, and they could be in for. They could actually make the top 4 if they continue in this vein of form. No?